It's one Saturday many look forward to having football, chess and even tennis. Coyote has more for you.
Welcome now to sports news. Yaya Toure made a sensational return to Manchester City's starting lineup, scoring a brace to earn the citizens a 2-1 victory over Crystal Palace in the English Premier League. Nigeria's Victor Anichebe also scored 2 goals as Sunderland thrashed Hull City 3-0 at the Stadium of Light. The much-anticipated clash between title rivals Manchester United and Arsenal ended in a draw at Old Trafford. Elsewhere, Watford beat defending champions Leicester City 2-1, while Stoke City lost 1-0 to Bournemouth. In the other matches played today, Everton and Swansea City played a 1-1 draw, while Southampton and Liverpool played a goalless draw at St Mary's Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur also beat West Ham 3-2 in the last game of the day. And still in the United Kingdom, former English captain Steven Gerrard has been offered the MK Dons job and will confirm whether or not he will be accepting that job on Monday. Gerrard is leaving LA Galaxy when his contract expires next month and is looking forward to a new challenge in football. The 38-year-old joined the MLS side in June 2015 after spending 17 years in Liverpool's first team, playing 710 games and winning 8 major trophies. He is currently pursuing his UEFA A coaching license and has also been linked with Scottish champions Celtic, where he would be reunited with former manager Brendan Rodgers. And to tennis now, Britain's Andy Murray battled back from a set and a breakdown to beat Milos Raonic and book his place in the final of the ATP World Tour Finals in London. Murray looked out of sorts in the opening set and first 3 games of the second, but he then rallied and eventually prevailed 5-7, 7-6 and 7-6 in a tournament record 3 hours and 38 minutes. The result extended his winning run into a career best 23 matches, sealed his first appearance in the final at the O2 Arena, and ensured he remains on course to end the season as world #1.
Game, center match, Murray. 2 sets to 1. 5-7, 7-6, 7-6.
It's a great day for Andy Murray, and that's it on Sports News. The rest of the news continues with Sulaiman Alede in just a moment. Stay with us.
Negotiations were tough and compelling. The COP went on till early hours of Saturday before the parties adopted the decisions. In the end, 2018 is firmly placed on the map as a moment when countries must recalibrate their plans to keep up with the mind-blowing speed of change in the markets and green growth.
It is so decided.
With a bang of the gavel, Marrakesh summit comes to a close. But negotiators decide to conclude the work program under the Paris Agreement as soon as possible and to forward the outcomes at the latest by 2018. Parties are invited to submit by the 31st of March 2017 their views on the governance and institutional arrangements, safeguards and operating modalities for the Adaptation Fund to serve the Paris Agreement. So the way forward on adaptation finance is not known. Experts on the ground say the lack of specific preparation by countries who came into the meeting on a high after the Paris Agreement became law meant that the world didn't pull the momentum for action into the process outcomes, and pointed out that this will have to change, particularly with view to action before 2020.
So what we are very disappointed with and very frustrated with is that there is a foot dragging, there is not enough acknowledgement of putting words to action. No point celebrating for something that cannot be delivered if finance, technology transfer, raising of ambition pre-2020 is not done. This is not fair, it's unethical, it's immoral.
Adaptation finance was a hot-button issue in Paris. It's an even hotter issue for organizations in climate-affected communities that want a share of what funding as soon as possible so they can start protecting livelihoods. The decision in Marrakesh, unfortunately, did not excite them.
Well, there was definitely a positive tone yesterday that there is 81 million in the Adaptation Fund. However, the scale of what is needed in the Adaptation Fund, 10 billion. So we've had 0.01% of what is necessary in the Adaptation Fund, which is actually the physical money which is there.
All eyes are now on Fiji, that will host the COP next year in Germany. But countries will need to work faster to put detail behind their commitment to ambition and accelerate the momentum in the real economy. Ayola Kasim reporting for Channels Television News.
The head of the Journalists Union in Egypt, alongside two other colleagues, have been sentenced to 2 years in prison for harboring fugitives. A court in Cairo also ruled that Yahya Kalash and board members Gamal Abdul Rahim and Khalid Al-Balshi should pay a $630 bail pending an appeal. In May, police raided the union's headquarters in the capital, arresting 2 opposition journalists. The 2 had sought shelter in the building from arrest warrants. They are accused of inciting protest against a decision by the Egyptian authorities to hand over 2 islands in the Red Sea to Saudi Arabia. Critics of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have condemned the transfer of the islands as unconstitutional and lacking in transparency. Pope Francis has named 17 new cardinals of the Roman Catholic Church from around the world, many of whom will help choose his successor. It is the 3rd time in 3 years that the Latin American Pope is naming new cardinals, allowing the pontiff to put his stamp on the future of the 1.2 billion member global church. The new cardinals come from 15 countries, including the United States, Central African Republic, Bangladesh, Papua New Guinea, and Mauritius, among others. 13 of the new cardinals are under 80 and now eligible to succeed the Pope. And the main news again. Controversy today told the report of an inquiry by the Rivers State government into the election violence during the match rerun election in the state. The supporters of the opposition All Progressives Congress have described it as an attempt to ridicule its leaders. Also today, APC party bigwigs, including President Muhammadu Buhari, gathered in Akure in solidarity with the party's governorship candidate as the AD continued its tour of communities in the state ahead of next Saturday's Ondo State governorship election. And head of Journalists Union in Egypt, alongside his 2 colleagues, were today sentenced to 2 years in prison for allegedly harboring fugitives. That's the news at 10. Many thanks for watching.